Okay, so what's the plan for today? Actividades de Dio.
Well, now we're gonna drive along the coast to Viña del Mar. And we're gonna go to the Funk Museum. After that, we're gonna head to Valparaiso.
Valparaiso. Yes. Lugares de gente, what do they call them? Artistas, y músicos, etc.
Yes. Yes.
Bueno.
It's the arts
Bohemian capital.
Yes. Of South America. Yes.
As we approach the hill that we've often walked up, we've literally entered into Viña del Mar.
Yes.
And this is distinguished by what, Kathy? This particular area as opposed to Renaca, Concon. What's special, especialmente cerca Viña del Mar? The wine, for one.
Well, yes, and what's special about Viña is that it's a really beautiful city, that everyone takes care of it. You can see all the beautiful flowers, and there's like a beach promenade, like a really beautiful one, and you have this, I don't know how you call it, but we're gonna stop by later, like this muelle, it's in Spanish.
Black Virgin.
What? Okay.
Black Virgin.
Yes. Oh, the Black Virgin.
Black Virgin of Viña del Mar.
Yes.
Kathy, what do you think is the most popular beach in all of this area, all the way from Valparaiso?
¿Cuál es la playa más famosa en toda la región?
For visitors.
Reñaca, Viña del Mar.
In Reñaca.
Reñaca Beach, where we spent so much time.
Yes.
Playa del Deporte.
That's the sports beach.
Yeah.
Sports beach.
The Marine Zone, Navy.
That's the Navy.
School, Marine.
Maritime Navy Academy.
Yes. Yes.
Armada de Chile.
Yes.
But Reñaca is...
Over there, the building.
I see. So Reñaca is the most popular beach for travelers to come to and spend time at.
O sea, Reñaca playa es la más famosa para...
Sí.
Yeah.
Más turística.
Yeah, that's
No es la más bella.
It's not the most beautiful, but where most tourists go.
So is this the center of the Navy?
Yes.
So this is the naval center of all Chile.
Yes.
We noticed lots of helicopters and airplanes. Those are all naval helicopters and aeroplanos.
Yes.
Sí.
Yes.
And as you were saying earlier, Viña has no deep water port. It's Valparaiso that has the deep water port.
Yes.
Okay. And this is probably the most famous avenue in Viña right here. Do you know, is this still Borgona? Or is it a different avenue?
La avenida?
Esto es Avenida Jorge Mott. Esto es Avenida San Martín.
San Martín.
San Martín.
Kathy was pointing out that the casino for Viña is right here in that round building. Those who do not want to add CO2 but methane to the atmosphere always take a carriage coach pulled by caballo. Beautiful, beautiful coach.
Oh. There's another fine example of a monkey puzzle. What is it called in Spanish?
Something with an A, but I forgot.
Acacia or?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, it has a star on the top. As you can see, we're standing in front of the Museo Funk. Looks like a school group is here. Muelle del Ajo. This says Cultura Rapa Nui. Now this is intriguing. We never saw anything like this on Easter Island. Is Jeff probably giving a history lesson to these kids?
No. Oh, I don't have it. Peso.
¿Tiene billetes de Estados
Peso.
Unidos?
No.
They want to Japanese
Peso
kids.
especialmente dinero.
Dinero.
Dinero
Money.
construir.
Bernie. Voting for
Ask me who we voted for. I couldn't remember because there's so much craziness going on.
So, Kathy, tell us where we are.
Oh, we are in Viña del Mar, El Muelle. That's the pier.
That means the pier.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not from here, so I cannot tell that much about it. But yeah.
Oh, what's that big crane?
Yes, it's a crane where they used to get out ships out of the water. But not anymore.
Now
Not
it's just for
working anymore.
visitors here.
Yes, but there's a lot of written on these boards. It's also in English.
So we can do our own tour.
Yeah.
It's actually a very extensive beach, flanking way off in that direction.
Yes.
It is.
Oh, that's where we
That's
stayed out
actually
there.
way larger than
Renaka.
This is a lot like Florida.
Churreria.
We're going to call this Apollo Chocolate. It's basically fruit that's been coated with chocolate. While we're eating this,
Pineapple.
this one's got pineapple and strawberry in it. Behind me, you can see the crane. This crane was erected around 1895. It was done by the British. It was actually manufactured in England. It cost about 5,000 pounds sterling at the time. What it did is it relieved Valparaiso of some of the docking and unloading, particularly of charcoal. So when they established this pier here and put in the crane, basically it started the beginning of the development of Viña del Mar as a viable trading center to go along with Valparaiso and allowed the population to start building up.
What year was that?
This was about 1895. The Marquillo didn't say when they decommissioned it, but obviously it's not necessary anymore, unless of course you go out and you catch a huge marlin out there somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, and you come in and then you can't get it off your boat, so then you take your huge marlin and you hook it up to the crane, and then they'll pull it out of the water for you. Ha ha. Apparently the city of Viña del Mar means vineyard by the sea, of course, if you translate it into English. And its beginnings around 1835. Maybe a little earlier than that. But there was a huge earthquake in 1835, which caused the people to start moving inland away from the coast. Meanwhile, additional settlers came along and started setting up grape growing regions for both wine, apparently, and grapes. The town was really an extension of Valparaiso. And now, of course, if you sweep the camera around, you'll see it's fully developed. There's massive amounts of condos and hotels. It's become a tourista center at this point. I doubt there's any real wine grapes being grown, and if they are, they're probably well inland at this point. Here we are a little closer to the crane. I'm not sure what kind of engine powered it, but you can see some of the gears off underneath. And then, of course, the use of cables to lift the crane arm. I suspect there was a steam engine down below, and that's probably what accounts for the locomotion in order to lift it. You can also see that it's got a solid foundation of concrete right there. So I think they must have removed the steam engine, or perhaps it's on the other side of that concrete barrier. Now it's a tourist attraction, and it definitely demonstrates some of the technologies that were prevalent back at the end of the 19th century. I mean, I've only seen a few pescaderos along the water here. I'm not sure how successful they are with fishing. But fishing isn't just about catching fish. It's about something to do on a beautiful day on the water in places like Viña del Mar. Viña del Mar sweeps along this bay, but off in the distance you can see Valparaiso. Claimed by some to be the artistic center of Chile. Okay, we had just visited the Funk Museum, and Vanessa had pointed out that there were certain irregularities in the texture of the stone of the moai at the Funk Museum. I just talked to some local folks who now live, the lady with the blonde hair, who now live here in Valparaiso and Viña, and I asked her whether or not it was a real moai, and she said, well, as far as she knew, it was. But then she said, well, there's a moai in La Serena in a museum. The museum is under construction. It is highly protected. And I said, I know exactly what happened. They basically moved the real moai to La Serena. And she said it's because the president at the time lived in La Serena. When they brought the moai from Easter Island to Chile, that's where he wanted it placed. And it's also, as we know, the most proximate city to Easter Island in Chile. So the bottom line is, Vanessa, you're probably correct in pointing out the textures of that moai were incorrect. There's probably a casting, and that the true moai, one of the 3 moai that left Easter Island, ended up in La Serena after it came to Valparaiso.
And that explains why they let it sit outside
That's
in the
why
public.
they let it sit outside. It's just a casting. But it was great to be able to walk around and point out some of its features.
And we're going to La Serena next week. So we're gonna go to the museum.
Fortunately, the museum in La Serena is under construction. There's no access. We're seeing a seal out in the water. Of course, he sensed the camera. Ah, we're losing it.
Look at this tree. It told me the name in Spanish, but Ambrosia or something. Gosh, look at this. Someone lost their kite up there. There's lots of kites flying on the beaches.
Sorry. This is still Viña del Mar. All beautiful flowers and everything. Palm trees.
Palm trees.
Just beauty.
Definitely in the first world now.
Yes.
This part of Viña, going to the Valparaiso. The gardens, the parks, playa, edificio, stone walls.
That was red. Already.
Say it again, she just started.
Leaving Viña.
Yes, we're leaving Viña del Mar and now we are entering Valparaiso. There should be a sign on the left. Maybe we passed it already. But
The architecture here, is it going to be older?
yes, a lot older.
And stone, basically, lots of stone
Yes,
architecture,
yes.
some adobe,
Yes, and lots of wood.
lots of wood.
Yes.
I see the cliffs are much closer to the playa here than they were in Viña. Viña was more or less a flat area. Here we're seeing some.
Yes, like I said, Valparaiso is built on round about 20 hills.
20 hills.
Yes. So this is Valparaiso, what you see in front of us. All these hills.
Wow.
Yes. And the sign is coming down there. You're gonna see it on the left-hand side, on the left next to us. You see it? The colorful yellow reddish in the middle of the street. Valparaiso.
See.
Welcome to Valparaiso.
Hola, Valparaiso.
Valparaiso port was before opening the, how do you say that? The Panama Canal?
Panama Canal,
Yes, was the most important port in America.
Many ships sailed from here to San Francisco at the time of the gold rush, for instance.
And by America, she means south and north.
All of it, yes.
Those are
Colorful
all
buildings.
domiciles up there, right? Mostly on the hillside.
I don't
Most of
know.
the people there.
Yes, yes. All,
Now, what about the far sides of the hills, where they can't see the bay? Are people building up there quite a bit too, or
I don't know.
over the crest? Oh, you may not.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm
Yes,
sure they have.
yes.
Yeah, this is a highly densely populated. Do you know how many people live here?
No,
Millions, right?
no,
No.
no. It's really small, so I don't know.
It's a small city.
It is. I think,
San Francisco's only got 400,000, so it's probably comparable to that.
let's run about it around here also, but like Valparaiso, Viña, and all of them.
So you're saying there are 20 hills,
Roundabout,
and
yes.
people live, you can see all the houses built all the way up the hills, and everyone has a view of the bay of the ocean.
Yes, basically everyone, because
Because the hills get ever higher and higher as you go.
there's policemen on horses.
Carabineros.
Carabineros.
Cabala.
And there's the metro that links Valparaiso with Viña del Mar.
That's- We're gonna go to this little cafe you pointed out that you mentioned you've gone to twice to.
We can go there if you want to.
Sure.
Sure.
We're gonna drive around so you get a feeling for
Okay.
Valparaiso
You're
because
right.
Now we're just starting to head up to the hillside. Look at that.
it's really complicated driving in Valparaiso. Yes, but now we're going uphill.
Reminds me a little of Cusco. Have you been there?
No,
Cusco's a little run down, but it's also a beautiful city. It's at altitude and it's hilly. So there's places you can walk to where you get a grand view of the city.
yeah. Now uphill. We're driving up our first hill.
And so you're saying there's many layers of hills after this one.
Oh yes, like I said, like 20 hills, and like it's going up, down, up, down.
I don't think I've ever traveled such steep roads. Down below us you can see it better. You can also see ships out in the port. Many buildings and structures. Around me are common homes of this particular area. Not in particularly good shape. You can see going uphill the sweep of the road and the tremendous, probably 25 to 30% grades that you take when you try to climb these hills. in Valparaiso. Here's a sweeping vista of the port in the city of Valparaiso. We're probably up about 500 feet. The common houses in the area along the hillside, they all have million-dollar views. Looking out and around, you can see the port below and the city itself and the main streets. Maybe right now approaching the oldest building in Valparaiso. It is the home of the El Mercurio newspaper. We've just come down these stairs. This is what might be called the Bohemian section of Valparaiso. You can see the domiciles that we just descended from the hill above us. You can see the sweep of the architecture, many valleys below. Here's a stairway with lots of tagging and muraling. We're going to go down this stairway, continuing to see some of the views off to the right. And as we walk down these stairs, we should get a more sweeping view. The architecture here seems to be pretty old. There's a cafe to the left. A few more edificios here, buildings. Cafe once again. As we emerge here, we're beginning to see once again the calles down below. From the local indigenous Hero population. See the roofs of the houses. You see some more of the Bohemian art off to the left on these old buildings. The stairs continue down. You can see some more of the older structures. Lots of color. Some very old concrete buildings leading off to the bay below. Another view, some of the architecture. Looks like a cathedral. There's some excellent artwork over here along the wall. And the stairs leading up. I think that would make an excellent place to walk to. Here's a nice cafe, or Cafe Victoria Queen. Well-maintained building. The steps continue to take us up. About to return to the car. There's a beautiful alley here. Beautiful colors, folklorical art, folklorical. And with power running out on the camera, there's a wonderful view of this alley. Last final sweeping vista of Valparaiso, port, the bay. It would be pretty clear that we have successfully navigated this labyrinth of streets and buildings in order to return to Kathy's car, who is patiently awaiting us and the cakes that we picked up at the bakery.
All for me, I'm gonna leave.
We're now about to enter our final destination. It's a very favorite cafe of Kathy and Eddie. Quite rustic. It's supposed to have excellent chocolate. Caliente. Hola.
Should we just sit here?
See?
Yeah? Is that okay for you?
In the love seat.
Yes.
Because we love to see. You won't find many baños that are interesting for the video camera, but this one certainly makes one willing to pull it out. For the ladies, for the men, wall artwork, posters. The lovely Vanessa on her way to inspect one of the baños. Behind the counter, on the wall. And you were saying you left a note somewhere up here on the wall?
We have two. That one. That one we just did the 28th of September, so last week. And that one 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So, what would you say now?
Well, it's still a great place. I love coming here. I love they don't have Wi-Fi, so you have to talk, which is good.
Which is good.